So I'm here to talk to you about hair dyes. What are the primary ingredients? How long does it last? The history of hair dye, weighing and mixing, things of that nature. So the history of hair dye. Hair dyes have been used since the ancient times by the Egyptians, the Greeks, the Romans, Chinese, Persians, and early Hindu people. During this time, hair dyes were generally made from plants, metallic compounds, and sometimes a mixture of the two. Rock alum, quicklime, and wood from the ash tree were used for bleaching the hair of the Roman people. They also used herbal preparations including mullein, birch bark, saffron, myrrh, and turmeric. The most popular color to dye a person's hair at that time was a deep reddish brown. This signified a woman's status in her village or how wealthy her family was. To create the reddish brown mixture, henna, a combination, well, a common plant, and the type of wood would be used to make it. Plant extracts are the most common source of the color's richness, and indigo is a fabric dye that is mixed with henna, a plant extract, to make a light brown color depending on the amount of indigo used. An extract from chamomile is used to lighten or bleach in the hair and is still used in modern dyes today. Wood from the Brazil wood tree is a primary source of brown hair dyes, which are also used in a lot of hair dyes today. What are the general ingredients in hair dyes today? So hair dyes include color dye, it includes modifiers, antioxidants, soaps, amino wetting agents, fragrances, and a variety of other chemicals are used in a small amount that each have their own special qualities to bring to the hair dye, such as softening the texture of your hair or give the desired action to the dye. The dye chemicals are usually amino compounds and show up on a hair dye ingredient list with such names as like 4-amino 2-hydroxy and M-aminophenol, or metal oxides such as titanium dioxides and iron oxides are often used as pigments as well, for the desired color before shipping out to retailers. The manufacturing process, like checking the ingredients. So before the hair dye can be made, the ingredients must all be accounted for and must all be certified for use. The chemicals must be tested to ensure there's no problems with the correct labeling and to make sure all of them are at their potency before they can mix it all together to sell in the retail stores. The certification must be done by the manufacturer. So as soon as the testing is over, the distributor will list a certificate of analysis showing that all the ingredients have been tested and approved. And if this doesn't meet the manufacturer's requirements, then they would have to redo the testing all over again until it's up to the manufacturer's standards. So weighing and mixing the color dyes, a worker must first weigh out the correct amount of each ingredient to put in a batch of hair dye. For some ingredients, only a small amount is measured or needed for specific colors. So once the weighing process is done, then the ingredients are ready for pre-mixing, which if you ever buy hair dye in a store, you have the mixing applicator, which, and I'll show you. So it sometimes looks like one of these bottles, and you'll have like this much of the developer in there already, and then they'll have packets that you just pour in or whatever, and then it makes whatever color. So the resources that I've used was the humantouchofchemistry.com. I love that website. It tells you if you're a hairstylist or whatever, it's nice to go on. And also what is hair dye and how it's made. eNotes, it's also a great resource. And then also Aveda Institute of Seattle. So I am a graduate 2010, so I have my cosmetologist license. And I also completed, the 1,650 hours on top of 750 more hours, and graduated the top 3 of my class for colorist. So that's my informative speech on hair dye. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it. Thank you.